What's up, Cowboys Nation? I'm Nick Eatman along with Stephen Jones, Cowboys Chief Operating Officer. And man, it sure feels good to get 2 straight wins, especially the tough, hard-nosed game against Pittsburgh. You knew it was going to be that kind of game. Maybe you didn't think it was going to take that long, but just take us through the emotions of that. We saw you got on in the suite with Jerry. A lot of emotions there. Just what was it to get that win like that?
Well, I think anytime you go on the road, against a really tough and physical football team like a Mike Tomlin coached Pittsburgh Steelers team is, you're going to have your work cut out for you. And on top of that, I like the way we overcame, some tough challenges. When you turn the ball over 3 times and you don't get one, and then also get a field goal blocked, it's not a good recipe to win up in Pittsburgh. But hats off to our team. We overcame it. They battled every step of the way, and right now that's how we're having to win. We're just having to stay in the hunt, battle. I thought our offense moved the ball well, threw it around well, but also ran the ball well. And then on the flip side of that, I thought we, against a team that's physical and likes to run, I thought we did a good job against their runs. So, the game came together for us. It was a big win for us to get, and certainly you couple that with the one the week before, we're getting some momentum. And, against Baltimore, we showed we were fighting hard there at the end of that game. So, the group's figuring out how we need to win right now. And I think this is a team that should only get better as this season progresses, especially as we overcome some of these injuries. And we'll start to get these guys back, believe it or not. So that's the good news on some of the injuries. We should get them back.
We'll talk about injuries in a second. A lot of us like to play Monday morning quarterback, but Dak actually was a Monday morning quarterback. It was Monday morning when that game was over. Do you remember anything crazy like that happening where it took so long? And I mean, here he is, and he struggled early with turnovers, and then at the end of the game, though, he did his thing.
Well, I think he set a record, first quarterback to throw a touchdown on 2 days apart. One on one day, one the next day. So. No, that doesn't surprise me at all, though, that Dak battles back. I mean, he keeps his focus, as he likes to say, likes to keep his mind where his feet are. And, he's just a grinder. And it doesn't surprise me one bit that he came back and had the big drive, after having some adversity there, turning the ball over. But, he hung in there and fought, and we knew we were up against a really good defense. I think we gained a couple hundred yards more than any other team against the Steelers. And, it's just one of those things where we're going to continue to grind. We can continue to be better in the red zone, converting some of those, drives into touchdowns when we're in that red zone. But I know Mike and Shotty and Dak, they'll continue to get that fine-tuned. And, I really do think this team has a lot of places, to really go up in terms of how we proceed, in the future with this season.
How about the defensive end position? Seems like every week you're losing another guy, Marshawn Nealon, now banged up. But speak to the guys like Tyrus Wheat and Golston and Carl Lawson. All of them, I think, got at least a half a sack in that game. So they stepped up there without Micah as well.
Well, they're really playing well, and it's good to see. Obviously, you got the young guys, who hadn't played a lot around here. Tyrus Wheat, to see him keep coming. I mean, he's played everywhere from linebacker to defensive line. I think if you just ask him what you need, he'll put on weight or lose weight or do what needs to be. So, and then, of course, Chauncey just did a tremendous job. I think he's really growing into the position, and it's nice to see Lawson, who's a veteran-type guy, come in and help us out as well.
Did you find a running back there, or at least a starting running back? I know Daddle's kind of gotten a little bit more carries, but the game he had, is he kind of taking over there as that RB1?
Yeah, I mean, he's the guy who's been going first, and but doesn't mean that Zeke isn't going to be a lot of help to this football team as we move forward. We all know we got Dalvin Cook on the practice squad who's sitting there, and then, of course, Deuce Fine's here as well. So, the big thing is just the commitment, to run the ball. There we were in a tight game every step of the way, and you can stay with a game plan and really stick with it and run the football, and that's what we did, and we had success doing it. Hats off to our offensive line group. Certainly Rico got hot in that game and, had some real production for us that I think ultimately helped us win that football game.
Tyler Guyton at left tackle, he went down. You shifted Tyler Smith over. It was amazing that he can just do that without really practicing. TJ Bass comes in. Where does that look like now as Guyton could come back this week, but you had some success there. Do you think Tyler stays at left tackle?
Oh, yeah, I think he'll be fine right there. He got that thing twinged, but it's great to have, a guy who's as versatile as Tyler Smith, who's obviously, logged a lot of snaps in out there his rookie year. He's, I think, one of the great offensive linemen, whatever position you plug him into. I don't want to put this on him just yet, but he's certainly trending in a good direction.
Right.
But reminds you of Larry Allen to some degree, how he can, be the best at what he does, whatever position he plays. And hats off to TJ Bass for stepping up and doing a really nice job filling in at Tyler's spot. But Tyler Guyton, I think, is going to be good this week and be ready to go.
That wide receiver position, you got CeeDee Lamb on one side, Brandon Cooks goes down, and then Jalen Tolbert just steps up, has the game of his life.
Well, Jalen Tolbert's there has been going straight up since his first year, and certainly Brandon Cooks been a big part of that. Been a great mentor to him on how to be a pro, how you go about your business, how you get prepared to play in this league. And now, not only did Jalen help him get to this standpoint, but he's also got him ready to now fill in for him. Yeah. And he did that admirably last week, of course, making the big touchdown grab at the end, but had his most productive game. And, just hats off. Can't say enough about Tolbert, the way he's going about his business. And then, of course, you can't not mention Terp, too. They're a lot alike in terms of their stature. But it was great to see him making some big plays and doing some of the things that we do with Brandon Cooks in terms of, going deep, threatening the verticality of the game, and then at the same time, running some of those speed reverses where he can use that speed to get in space. So both guys, hats off to them.
Well, CeeDee Lamb, you're hoping to get him going a little bit more in the fourth quarter. But remember, he's going to take on the Detroit Lions team where he had over 220 yards last week. Real quick, you expect to have him playing well at a high level as well?
Absolutely. I mean, CeeDee's obviously getting a lot of attention. And I think the more you see the likes of Ferguson, the likes of Tolbert, the likes of Turpin, guys like that making big plays for us, the more they're going to have to pay attention to him. And you give CD a little crack, he's going to do some productive things. He got off to a fast start in the first quarter, but I think they started really focusing on him more, and that opened it up for the rest of the team in terms of letting some of our other guys make some big plays.
Micah Parsons, Deron Bland, these guys getting closer and closer. And you do have that bye sitting there after this Lions game, but do you think either one of them could maybe make it?
I think Deron Bland has a real chance to get, I don't know if he'll play the whole game, but I think he's ready to start mixing it up. And, we'll see on Micah a little further away, but those are the two guys that are the closest to playing with Bland. Short of a real setback, Bland should be ready to address and really help us on the defensive side of the ball in the secondary there.
All right, speaking of the Lions, doesn't get any easier with them the way they're playing, and Dan Campbell's going to be chomping at the bit, especially the way last year's game ended. What are you expecting against Detroit this week?
I expect to see their best. I mean, Dan Campbell's intense, and he's got that team playing at a real high level. He had them playing at that level last year. Their offense is one of the best in the business. Their defense comes in here and stops. I mean, historically, they're stopping the run this year really good. Certainly if there is a spot, you got to go after him throwing the ball. But he's got that team playing at a high level. It's going to take a great effort from us, but we can do it. Go in there, and as you said, we know Dan well. He's put on that helmet before here with us, and I know he'll have his team prepared. I know he'll have them intense, but I know Coach McCarthy's going to have our guys in the same situation. It'll be great to be back home with our fans. I know we want to get that first home win here and feel good about it. It's going to be a great game.
All right, certainly is. Cowboys and Lions, 3:25 Central at AT&T Stadium. Stephen Jones, thanks for stopping by. That's Cowboys Chief Operating Officer. We'll see you next time on DallasCowboys.com.